This is Darius O'Kane with D&K Audio and Tech Solutions. Let's talk technology. What we do here at D&K is provide custom solutions to help small businesses, content creators, and ministries use technology to reach their goals. We build custom media solutions. We also provide training, support, and service to allow you to adapt and grow as your needs change and as technology changes. In this video, we're going to demonstrate how we created a custom solution to allow a ministry to control a number of PTZ cameras and streamline their whole process with the use of Bitfocus Companion and the Elgato Stream Deck. Let's get into it. Okay, we're doing this recording to see about the process we will go through to demonstrate software updates that we do for our client systems. So right now we're online with Midway Baptist Church, and we're going to demo what we did with our integration with Bitfocus Companion and the Elgato Stream Deck. Okay, so here we're demonstrating, we have OBS open so that we can see the camera shot from each of the cameras that we're dealing with. This church has a 4-camera setup, one in the back of the church to get the pulpit area, one on the left, another on the right, and another camera on the wall behind the choir stand to get the congregation shots. So what we were able to do here was within Bitfocus Companion, we built in the controls for all the PTZ cameras. We also pulled in the controls for the ATEM Mini video switcher, and then we combined them together in Elgato Stream Deck. And we took it one step further and used the Elgato Virtual Stream Deck to be able to give us the buttons on the screen to be able to interact with the cameras and with the switcher. So as we look here, we're locked onto the center camera right now, and we have controls for the left camera, right camera, center camera, and the back camera. And one thing that happens when we click on any of these controls, it will switch us over to the page to control that particular camera. And it also puts that camera in preview mode in the ATEM Mini. So right now, we're on the left camera control, and it shows that the left camera is in preview. If I click the right camera, it switches to right camera. And we see here that the right camera is in preview, and we have the controls and all of the presets for that particular camera. And what I can do is once I have selected whatever shot that I want, I can click on camera trans, and it will transition that over to live. So right now, if I went to the left camera and said I wanted the podium shot for that camera, and then click on camera transition, it will switch to the left camera. Once we have more light in the room, we can show it a little bit better. So again, if I click on the right camera and I click on, let's say, the keyboard shot for that right camera and do transition, it will transition over and show me the keyboard area. By the same token, if I went to the back camera, again, it makes the back camera the camera that is in preview. I can choose whatever shot I want for that. I can say full and then transition to it, and it shows the entire church from this perspective of the back camera. Okay, so let's say I transfer back again. I'm on the back camera and I want a different shot. Let's say I want the podium from the back side, and then I can click on camera transition and it'll switch and show the podium shot. So I'm gonna do that again, back camera. So I'm gonna say right camera, drums, camera. Okay, so we have a shot of the drums from the right side. So then if I say back camera, then I say podium, transition, it shows the podium shot. So again, if I went to the center, I chose center camera. I'm on the control for center camera. Then I want a full shot of the church. I'll select that, and then I'll say camera transition. So that really shows you what we can do. You also have the same functionality that you would expect with the PTZ camera. You can pan left, pan right, up, down, and you can also zoom in and zoom out. So you have all the functionality for that camera, right here on the screen without going to anything else. You don't have to do anything with your keyboard. You don't have to actually, for this, use the physical Stream Deck. And you also don't have to use a joystick controller. So it simplifies everything and makes it work a little bit better for you. So that was a demonstration of the Virtual Stream Deck. As you can see, it really works well to streamline the process and make it easy to control a number of cameras and allows you to give a seamless and polished production. In the next part, we look at how you can use Bitfocus Companion even if you don't have an actual Stream Deck and integrate that within the OBS streaming software. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna go through the steps to add a couple of buttons to Bitfocus Companion and then pull that into OBS as a custom dock. We're gonna come down and click on the icon for Bitfocus Companion. Then we're gonna do Launch GUI to get us into the program. Then we're gonna go over to Buttons. And this is where we have all of our buttons set up for our control. So I may have to make some changes here. So we're just going to test this with a couple of cameras. So I have a few buttons that's available here. So I'm going to add it in these 3 places here. And what I might do is, for the sake of this, so that we can show everything, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these 2 buttons because we're not using them for anything. So to remove the button, there is an option here to delete. So I'm gonna say delete, and then it's gonna ask the button that I want to delete. I click on that and it asks me if I want to clear the button. Yes, I want to clear it. And then I'm gonna come over here and do it one more time. I'm gonna delete, and then I'm gonna click on the button that I want to delete, and then I'm gonna say clear. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna add a button for each of these cameras. These are my 4 cameras, the center, left, right, and then the back. I'm gonna add a button to put each of these in preview mode. And then I'm going to add one here to do transition to live. So to do that, I'm going to come over here to where it says presets. And then I'm going to click on ATEM. And then I'm going to come down to where it says preview. So here I have each of the cameras. So this one is for the center. And what I'm going to do is click and hold and drag it out and put it on the line for the center. I know that this one is the back. I'm going to click and hold and drag it out to put it on the back. And we see that this one is green because that tells us that is actually currently on the ATEM in preview mode. And so let me see. Hopefully I get these other 2 right. I'm going to say that this one is the left. If it's not, I will go back and change it. And then I'm going to say that this one is the right. Now, what I'm going to do here, it has the shortened version of the names that is actually in the ATEM. And so I'm going to change those in just a minute. But one thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is add in my transition. Okay. And I'm just going to use the auto transition. So I'm going to drag that right there. Like I say, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to update these. And I'm going to change it, instead of what comes directly out of the ATEM, I'm just going to call it center. Okay, so I just changed that one to center. Then I'm gonna come down here to the left, and it does say that that's the left input, so it looks like I got it right. I'm change that to left. I'm gonna do the same thing with the right, and then we're gonna do this with the back as well. Now, one thing I'm gonna do with these so that they show up well for me, like right here with that color green that is coming over from the ATEM and the text that's in there, I can't really see that. So I would rather change this so that the text would be black. So what I'm gonna do is click on that button. Then I'm gonna come back over to where it says feedbacks. And here I can change the text. I click on this box and I'm gonna change it to black. And I'm gonna do that with each of these. Go to feedback, click on the text, change it to black. Do that for the left camera. And then let's do that for the center camera as well. Here it says auto, and that's the information that's in there. I'm gonna make that auto trans. And so that I can split it up into two lines, what we're gonna do, we're gonna hit the backslash right after the word auto, type in the letter N, so that makes it a new line, and then I'm just gonna type in trans. So now that one says auto trans. Okay, let's see if we can do something here to kind of differentiate it from everything else. So I don't want it to be black since, you know, that's the color for that camera. Let's see if we can find another background color. And let's just choose this just to, if I do that, then I probably would want to change the text to black so that it stands out. Now we have everything built out so that we actually have controls for all of our cameras. And what these are on this side here are the presets for each camera. It is the left and right pan control, the tilt control, and the zoom in and zoom out. And then remember I said that here on the right, these are the buttons that will set each camera into the preview mode. And then when we hit auto trans, it'll transfer it over to the live mode. So we have everything here. One thing that we want to get the link to this so we can add it to OBS. So I'm going to come down to interactive buttons. And then I think I'm going to say emulator. Click on stream computer. So I'm going to copy that link. And then I'm going to come back over here to OBS. And I'm going to go to docs. And I'm going to go to custom browser docs. And then I'm going to give it a doc name of Companion. Then I'm going to paste in the URL for that. And say, and there we go. It shows up there. Okay. So I'm going to close that up. What I'm going to do here, now that I have the docs set up, I'm going to come back over here to where it says docs. And there's a doc here called Companion. I'm going to click on it. And it brings it up. And I'm going to take it and bring it down so that it can be docked in with everything else. Okay, so I see I have a little issue here that not everything in that dock is showing up. So what I'm going to do here, and this is going to kind of help me get everything organized. I'm going to take the scene transitions and I'm going to stack it with sources. And I'm also going to do the same thing for Companion as well. I'm going to stack it there. And I'm going to stack the audio controls in as well. So what that gives me here is tabbed instances. One for audio mixer, one for Companion, one for scene transitions, and one for sources. And really what I'm trying to do is kind of manage my real estate area. So once I get finished, I have enough room for everything. So these buttons, I'm going to drag them over so I have a little bit more room. I'm also going to drag this up some to give me more room once I go to my companion. It gives me more space for it. But now I need to go back over to Bitfocus and set it so that it's picking up all of the columns in there, because it cuts off right here. Okay, so let's jump back over to that. Okay, we're gonna close up this, because we see here that we have more columns than is showing up. It is only showing up maybe the first 8. Okay, and we want it to show how many do we have total. 14. So we're going to see if we can find a way for it to get all 14 in. So I want to go back over to surfaces, stream computer emulator, column count is set at 8. We're going to change it and see if we can go to 14. So showing 14. Let's jump back over to OBS, and it has it all in there now. So now if I say left, that makes that in preview. Then auto trans will send it to the left camera. And when it does that, it flips the camera that was previously in live over to the preview mode, so that now it's showing that the center is the preview. So now if I say back in preview mode, auto trans, it switches to the back. Now the left is in preview. Okay, and we can do the same thing with the right. And what I can do is say, okay, if I want it right, and then say choose that I want the keys to be the camera shot, I can click that there. Right now the back is in preview mode, and I want to say give me the left camera. So now if I say left, auto trans, it comes from the left side. Okay, and the center is preview. So now if I say right camera, keys, auto trans, it comes to the right camera and it's showing the keyboard. So that's exactly what we want to have happen. So again, our establishing shot is going to be the center. So if I go ahead and put center in preview and say for center, I want to show the full shot of the church. That selects that, and then I'm going to auto trans, and it goes to center and it's showing the full shot of the church. Okay, so that does it for me, and we'll clean this up again and we'll redo this when we have more lighting in the church so that we can see things a little bit better. Once again, this is another example of how we can create a custom solution for you and allow you to easily be able to control all of your media assets. If you need any other assistance, feel free to reach out to us at D&K Audio and Tech Solutions, or check us out on Facebook in the Tech Lab Studio channel.